Hi everybody, Dr. Brian here. Now last week we had our advanced workshop on how to conquer the blood sugar battle, and we had a great turnout. We literally had people hanging outside of the door in the office, and it's all a lot of our patients have been talking about who made it to the workshop as they come in for adjustments this week. So I want to take a minute just to kind of share some of that information with all of you today. Now here's the stats on diabetes. So it's a big issue and it's escalating. So back in 1958, 1.5 million people were dealing with diabetes. By 2014, it's gone up to 22 million in North America. And it's not just a disease of adults anymore, where we now have 1,000% increase in type 2 diabetes being diagnosed in children over these last 2 decades. Insulin resistance, which is what diabetes really is, the cells become resistant to insulin, is the #1 cause of heart disease. And if someone's diagnosed in their 30s, they're going to spend an additional $300,000 over the course of their life dealing with the additional medical costs and the lost time at work, the lost wages they're going to get from that. So this is a big deal. Now here's the thing. Diabetes is not a diagnosis that you have to live the rest of your life with. Diabetes is actually an injury your body has to heal from. So let me say that again. Diabetes is not a lifetime diagnosis. It is an injury that the body just has to heal from. And so this is what we shared with people, what I want to help you guys with today. So we talked about there's 3 different types of diabetes. So type 1, that's usually the type you're born with. Now that's more where there's been actual damage to the pancreas, and so the pancreas can't make insulin. A lot of the lifestyle changes that we talk about, people with type 1 diabetes also get benefit from that. Now, type 2 diabetes, now this affects 90% of the people who deal with diabetes, so we spent most of our time talking about that. Type 2 diabetes, what this is there's too much sugar coming into your body. Your body releases insulin to get the sugar out of the bloodstream and into your cells to use as fuel. When it's too much over time, what happens is the insulin's really high, and what happens is your cells stop hearing the message of insulin. So the cells actually become resistant or burnt out to the message of insulin, and that's what type 2 diabetes is. It's not that your blood sugar's too high, it's that your cells can't hear the word of insulin. And that's what type 2 diabetes is. Now there's also type 3 diabetes. It's a new diagnosis over the last about year and a half. What that is, it's when your brain cells become resistant to insulin. And so that leads to neural tangles and plaquing, and that's what Alzheimer's is. Now, the medical tests for diabetes aren't the best per se. So medical tests typically look at blood sugar, so fasting blood sugar, and then they also look at what's called A1C. So A1C, that's the amount of sugar that's stuck to your blood cells. The challenge with these tests is that blood sugar rising is actually a late sign of diabetes. And A1C, that's assuming that all of the blood cells and everybody lives the same amount of time, and they don't. So we can have sometimes artificially high tests and artificially low tests. Better tests are actually insulin levels, because insulin will start to go high decades before there's a blood sugar issue. And so that will give people an earlier warning sign that there's problems that need to solve. And then after meal glucose levels. Those are 2 better tests. Consequently, because of that, the medical treatments for diabetes are to artificially lower blood sugar or increase insulin levels. Again, because that's not addressing the cause, because the cause is the sensitivity of your cells to insulin. You're never going to get the result of that because it's not addressing the cause of the problem. So this is what you need to do. These are the steps you need to take to actually solve the diabetes issue. So #1, from a Max Mind point of view, is that diabetes is affected by your lifestyle and so your daily choices. And so this really comes down to like the steps. I was telling people they're simple. They're not necessarily easy, but they're simple, right? So the steps are easy. You just need to make the decision that you're going to do the work if you want to heal from diabetes. So it's making the decision that you're someone who's healthy, and you make the action steps accordingly. #2 is get adjusted. So as everyone who's a patient knows, your nervous system runs every single cell in your body. If your body can't run properly, a lot of the lifestyle changes just don't have the same impact. And we shared a lot of stories, a lot of patients in our office who have, come off medications, they've gotten off of insulin pumps, they've reversed all the stuff because they got their body working properly and put in the lifestyle modifications, and then their body's able to heal. Because if your pancreas can never work right, if the nerve supply is not right there, then we're never going to be able to make the change just by the outside lifestyle changes. Number 3 then is nutrition. So how do you eat properly if you're trying to heal from diabetes? A lot of, again, the medical recommendations are that you eat 45 to 65 grams of carbohydrates per meal, but all the science says that diabetes is a toxicity to carbohydrates. So adding carbohydrates to the meal doesn't make sense because you're going to reinforce the problem, which is why people end up on these medications forever. So what we teach is the advanced plan. And we can go through the details on that, but the nutshell of it is the advanced plan is you're going to reduce all the refined carbohydrates. You're cutting out sugar, anything that turns to sugar. So that's the grains, that's the high sugar fruits. You're going to be replacing unhealthy fats with healthy fats. You do need fat to heal. For most people, healthy fat is their number one missing nutrient, and then you need to make sure you're getting healthy proteins. By restructuring the diet, it allows the body to heal from this carbohydrate toxicity. Therefore, the insulin sensitivity can come back and your body can start to function better from an insulin response as well. Now, from the fitness point of view, so our essential number 4, the oxygen point of view here. So a research study that was published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 2002 showed that by doing surge training, or the Max T3 that we teach in Maximize Living, that it has a 3 times better effect on blood sugar levels than taking the popular diabetes drug metformin. So it's free. Anyone can do it. You don't need the side effects of medication. So another step in the right process. And then our 5th essential being toxicity. The biggest toxins you want to avoid when it's coming to diabetes is tobacco and alcohol. So those are the 5 steps. If you weren't able to make it to the workshop, my team did record the workshop. So if you'd like to get access to that, just contact the office. My team will show you how to get those tools as well. So you can go through that as well and get all of the details. It was an hour-long workshop. We also have a challenge that we're doing with people over the next 30 days, showing you exactly what to do, the steps to do every day, what to eat, how to do it, everything. Whether you're trying to prevent diabetes or you're trying to heal from diabetes, if you'd like to get that as well, just contact the office. You can get all of that off our website, all of our contact information. That's CastfieldChiropractic.com. Have a great day, everybody.